Hello and welcome to an Untitled.com brief video review and water drop test. Today, and I have my voice back even, today we have a cool Montblanc ink. I believe this is a limited edition. It's another one that comes like the pink ink. This one is called Golden Yellow. It's in the same sort of limited edition box that you generally get with those. I don't know how limited this is, so if you like this ink, be sure to get your hands on it fairly soon. This was sent out to me for review by AppelboomPennen. Thank you very much for sending that out for me. It comes in this little box. It comes in this little bottle, a very similar bottle to a lot of the other limited edition inks. A lot of them come in this kind of squarish bottle. Also, they have this little plastic hat to protect the snowflake. I leave it on because I think it's adorable. All right, there's the hat. So, this ink is one that I actually wasn't expecting much of and it wasn't what I was going to buy, actually. So I'm really glad that Appelboom decided to send it out to me. That was very cool of them because I was dubious that I would even have any use for this at all. Golden yellow is not usually a color that I write in very much, but this is actually a very nice color. I was worried it was going to be very, very light, but as you'll see, it is not particularly light. So let's get in a little bit closer here. This is what this ink looks like on paper, which is kind of a beautiful, I don't know, it's a golden yellow is what they call it, and they are not wrong about that. The thing it reminds me most of is marigold. That is a terrible drawing of a marigold, nonetheless marigold. And actually, as I'm looking at my viewfinder here, this looks a bit more yellow than it appears in real life. In real life, it is closer to that color you get from a beautiful marigold. So if you know marigolds, check that out. This is the pen I had it in. This is a Regal Lewis, I want to say. I couldn't find the right box for it. It's around here somewhere. This is a very nice pen that I got from Mass Drop a while ago. They were going to do a drop of these. I don't think they have yet. So this pen actually works very well. It's got a metal section which some people don't like, but it is kind of fluted. Anyways, it's not a pen review, but this is a very medium sort of nib. Not particularly wet or dry, very very normal in terms of flow. And this ink performs perfectly in it. I have had no problems at all. There's very mild shading, I would say. No sheen to speak of. And like I said, I'm just very surprised by how well this darn ink looks. I think it looks good, and it's totally usable. I've used it for notes, I've used it for grading, used it for all sorts of things. I mean, it's not going to fit in very well in your average office, but, one never knows. I don't know what kind of job you have. Maybe it works perfectly well for you. All right, let's look at some of these comparisons. Let's go here. I was reading on Reddit the other day that some people were really irritated when bloggers show off an ink next to inks that have nothing to do with it. And that's fair enough. Often I just use sort of what's on my desk. This time, of course, I don't really have any golden yellows around. And so in this case, I had to ink one up. I was like, well, I don't know. This is kind of an orange. This is pretty close. So I inked up this Ackerman Orange Bovin. I don't really know what that means yet. One day I'll find out. But man, it is a gorgeous orange. I am going to use the crap out of that. In fact, I've got it here in the Sailor. And man, that is some kind of orange, man. I tell you what, I've not seen one I like as much. And then Amethyst. Let's go ahead and put a black next to it because, I don't know, it may be good for comparison purposes. This is Sailor, Kiwa, Guro. There's our little scribble. Yeah, so you have a black, sort of a, I don't know, baseline color, I suppose. But I don't really have any other yellows to compare it to. But take it from me, look up a picture of a marigold, like that kind of gold marigold, not the bright yellow one, and you'll see what it looks like. All right, let's take a look and see if this is at all got any water resistance. I'm not expecting much, honestly, partly because it's a yellow ink and partly because I've seen the chromatography and what it does. So here you go. Let's take a look. Spray some of this on there. Spray a lot of that on there, actually. And yeah, it's not going to look like it's very water resistant. Let's mop it up. You can already see it totally disappearing, not just swirling away sometimes, as you sometimes get, but totally disappearing. So yeah, there you go. There's got the whole cross hatches, got dots, and yeah, it mostly just came up, and that was just from sitting on it for a few seconds. So yeah, no water resistance. Also, not a shock, and none was promised, so I'm not really disappointed in that. All right, so let's look at that chromatography I was telling you about. Get this out of the way. Here it is. And I will sub in sort of on the side here how it got this way, but the original line was down here, as you've seen in the little clip of video on the sped up version, and there's just nothing there anymore. It's totally gone. all fled up the page. Just as we saw on the page a second ago, no water resistance to speak of. So yeah, don't intend to get this one wet. Also, probably going to be totally useless for ink wash and that sort of thing because it'll just go away. So there you go. Anyway, that's the chromatography there. And this has been... can I get this in the frame? Darn, tripod's in the way. There you go. Montblanc Golden Yellow. Comes in a bottle like this. And a box like this. Looks like marigolds, writes very well, it's smooth, it's got a good flow, and it looks cool. So get yourself a bottle of this if you at all want golden yellow ink in your inventory. 30 mils is what the bottle size is here, and these usually go for... No, I haven't looked at the price on this one actually. It's going to depend on where you get it maybe, but between like 18 and 21. I'm going to guess it's probably on the 18 side, but check that out. It's your favorite retailer. If you're across the pond there, go check out Appelboom. If you're in the States, check out some folks like maybe Anderson Pens or Pen Chalet or somebody who's likely to have that sort of thing. Anyway, there you go. That's Montblanc. I am Mike. This is Ink Dependence, and if you like this blog and want to help it out, well, I'll tell you how you can do that. You can go to www.patreon.com/inkdependence. That's Patreon. That will help you contribute to this blog on sort of an ongoing basis, financially. So do check that out, and if you want to be a subscriber, that would be awesome. To my current patrons, thank you yet again from the bottom of my heart for helping support my little blog endeavor, and I will see you later. Peace out.